This is Texans TV.
We're going in-depth and one-on-one with safety Jalen Pitre as well as the head coach. Lovie Smith is next on Texans 360.
To get back and take control of the division. We can't do it with our fans at four-phase.
We are ready to rock in Houston. Rock and roll.
You already know what time it is, man.
Touchdown, Texans.
I got cleats for all y'all.
He's in rock and roll.
That's when you think you've seen it all. There's always something else.
Let's go home.
You made it. It's Texans 360. We hope you're having a fantastic summer, and we're so very happy that you are with us. Drew Dougherty with my good pal Cecil Shorts III. He caught passes in the NFL for about a decade. Did some of that here at the Houston Texans. You doing all right?
Doing well, man.
You're having a busy summer, and I don't think we're going to talk too much about your busy summer, but it's good to be with you.
Hey, likewise, man.
Yeah, it's so much fun. We're moving someone into a house. We're going to talk about pass catchers because he's here. So we're going to talk about the wide receiver room. Plus, we've got some more juicy tidbits with the head coach. But we start things out with news of the week. And the big news this week in Houston Texans land is training camp. The Texans going to have 8 open practices for the public. They'll have many more, but 8 will have fans in attendance. And all of them start at 8 a.m. The very first one is July 29th. That's a Friday. You can go to HoustonTexans.com for more information, the mobile app as well, the Houston Texans mobile app to get those exact dates. But the first one's July 29th. The importance of training camp is...
Oh, man. For guys trying to make the team, get your final 53 down there. It's weird because training camp is practice, right? It's the first official practice type thing, but the game is not far away. The first preseason game is going to come like that. And next thing you know, we're rolling in season.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter who the head coach has been around here, and I bet you could say this league-wide, but Dom Capers said it, Kubiak said it, your coach Bill O'Brien, David Culley, and I'm sure Lovie Smith is going to say it. They loved it when fans were in attendance at practice. I know you guys loved it as players. Juice was the word that came up over and over and over again when fans were out there watching, right?
It's amazing because it feels like a game.
Yeah.
Because at practice, at training camp, it's a grind every single day.
It can get tedious, right?
Grind. It can get tedious. You get tired. But to have the fans out there and they get so excited on every single thing you do. You catch a punt, they kick a ball, anything. It brings the juice to the practice, and it's something that we need, and we need that motivation at times.
Yeah, takeaways by the defense and long completions by the offense seem to bring out the biggest cheers around here at camp. And a guy who Texans fans are hoping to cheer on quite a bit is the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year from last season with Baylor. That's Jalen Pitre. He's a Texan now, and he caught up with our John Harris and Mark Vandermeer.
Joining us now, Texans Radio, Jalen Pitre, Texans safety, and welcome. Great to sit down with you for the first time. How's it been out there so far?
It's been wonderful. I'm learning a lot from the coaches and even the players, that are veterans. They're teaching me so much, and, I'm excited to be here.
What's it been like the first week you were out there practicing with the veterans until the latest week where you're getting it more and more? How has that process been for you, Jalen? I know we're at the very beginning of it, but what's it been like for you?
It's been wonderful. Early on it was a bit harder because, you're learning something new and you're in a different environment. But I would give a lot of credit to my, coaches for just continue to, push me and, demand the best out of me. I feel like that's what's helped me make, some big jumps early on. And, I look to continue to, make jumps in the future.
How do you feel your comfort level being out there from day one, being out there, rookie mini camp, to hey, I'm out there with the vets, to going into veteran mini camp this week? How do you feel?
I would say I feel very confident. I'm taking my job really serious. I'm studying each and every night, making sure that I know every call that is on the playbook and being able to, speak to my teammates in the correct language. I think when you're able to do that, then you're able to play a lot faster and see the things that you need to see. So, it's been wonderful, like I said, and I'm enjoying it.
Who are some of the guys who have been helpful to you as mentors so far? I know, again, it's early.
Definitely, I would say Graylin Arnold, a Baylor Bear that, I played with in college. He's helped me, understand it. Jonathan Owens, Terrence Brooks, Eric Murray. The whole safety room has been very welcoming, and especially, Coach Dana. He's been very hard on me, and I appreciate, the level of focus that he has each and every practice and meetings.
You say safety, but for people that seen you play, Because people would ask me what positions Jalen Pitre play, and I kind of shrug like, no, he plays a lot of them. He does a lot of different things. You do a lot of different things. You're more than just a safety. You come down and cover. You'll play over the top. You'll play on the roof. Where do you feel most comfortable when you're out on the field?
I feel most comfortable wherever Coach Lovey feels most comfortable. You know, I look forward to, you know, being a guy that can, you know, produce wherever he wants me to be on the field. And, you know, I take pride in that, knowing everything and making sure that I'm very productive wherever he puts me. So, you know, I trust him with that decision.
All right, Baylor. Why is Baylor so good? And I mean that in the nicest way, right? What has been the difference to keep Baylor? And I know there have been some dips and coaches leaving, but always bouncing back up. But what is it about Baylor, Jalen, that makes it so special?
I would say the grit. You know, we understand that our coaches understand, whether that was with Coach Rule or Coach Aranda, what it takes to win. And, you know, they're good at communicating that with their players. So, you know, once we understand that, we're about the work. You know, we put in the work day in and day out, and we're trying to, you know, do the tough things. We're trying to, you know, take the hard jobs. And I think when you have a team full of guys that want to do that, you're eventually going to win. And I think that's how, you know, you seen the dips from time to time, because we were, you know, starting to understand things and figure it out. But when we understood it, you know, it was all good from there.
I think Coach Aranda unlocked the number 8 box too. I think once he figured that out, how to use number 8, I think that made the Baylor defense that much more interesting.
How will you spend the time between mini camp and training camp? This is a big moment for everybody, but, you know, you as a rookie, the rest of the rookies hitting the ground running for training camp.
I'm going to be working out here at the Texas facility, and also in the film room, finding new ways to, you know, elevate my game and get better. You know, I'm always looking to, you know, improve and kind of be different in a way.
Thanks, Jalen. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, Cecil, for a defense and for a head coach in Lovie Smith who preaches takeaways, takeaways, takeaways time and time and time again, that guy, Jalen Pitre, seems like a perfect fit. I mean, he's always around the ball. Yeah. At least he was at Baylor. And it sounded like that's what was going on the month of May and month of June with OTAs and whatnot.
He seems like he has a knack for being where the ball is.
Yeah.
And when you're Defensive Player of the Year in the Pac-12, if I'm not mistaken.
Big 12,
I apologize.
It's easy, though, because conferences are getting shaken up.
That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But when you have a guy that has a knack for the ball, you bring him in, it's exciting, because he's not going to stop that. He's going to continue to, as you heard in the last month of the OTAs and minicamps, he's been doing the same thing. So you have a guy you can move around, play in the slot, play deep. It's a special thing.
It's good stuff. Lovie Smith will definitely scheme some things up with him. And speaking of Lovie, I had a chance to talk one-on-one with him about the schedule release and everything that entails. Well, Coach, you were excited coming in about the schedule. You get to see it. What was your initial reaction when it all was in front of you?
Like you said, just a lot of excitement. Been waiting, in anticipation for this day. One of the most exciting days to me, kind of in sports a little bit, and for us on this season. We knew the opponents, but now to know exactly when we play them, I'm pumped. Of course, the guys will be pumped too.
Yeah, right off the bat, you get the Colts, week 1 here. That's happened a lot of times in this franchise's history. That's going to be a fun one to see. That's a good challenge right off the bat, isn't it?
Yes, right now, Drew, of course, we have all-season workouts going on, and you're prepping for the season. But once you know who the first opponent is, it's one thing to get your opponent, but for it to be a division team, too. A division rival that dominated us last year. So that should keep us motivated, of course. And that's what it's about, really, for us, as we start building our program about eventually taking back control of the AFC South. So what a better way to start off the season.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that about taking control of the AFC South, because you finish with a trio of each of the 3 opponents at the end of the season. How much do you like that aspect of the schedule this year?
If you draw it up, if I had control of drawing it up, you want to start off, with the division opponent. And in the end, once the season plays out, when you're playing for it all, you want to play against the teams in your division. So it plays out well. If us, 2 of them, of course, will be on the road, but we like that part too. Then there's just so much more. And so I talked about, the opening game and, for our fans too. Offense, defense, special teams, they're pumped up. But our forfaits, the fans, for them to get a taste of their team, to see exactly what we are. In order for us to complete this overhaul of our program, to get back and take control of the division, we can't do it without our fans, that fourth phase. So I know they're going to be excited and pumped up for that opening game, and we're going to show up too.
No doubt. And then in December, you bring up the fans. You're wearing a battle red shirt. There's going to be a lot of battle red up when you play the Cowboys. As a Texan coaching the Texans, how big is that game for you?
Man, it's big. You know, there are rival games that you have, you know, in our division, of course, but when you have the the two professional teams in the state, and in a state that prides itself on knowing about football. Great high school football here, great college football, and for the professional teams to meet up that way. You know, I grew up in East Texas. I watched a lot of Cowboys games, so that'll be a special game for us. You look at our history, I mean, starting off, right? I haven't been down here for a while, Drew, but we started off against them, right? Our first game, first big win against them. No, that's a big game for us, and I can't wait to get to it.
Week 5, or you play 5 games, then you have a bye kind of early. What do you think about that?
To me, whenever it comes, it comes. You know that you're going to get a bye sometimes throughout. You know, we knew, of course, it's going to be a Thursday night game throughout. So whenever, you know, we played 3 preseason games, 5. So, about 8 games into, you kind of want a reprieve a little bit. So we'll take it that way.
You had some great years in Chicago. You're going to see them early on in the season. What do you think that might be like? I know it's different asking you in May versus what it'll actually be like when you arrive there in October, but what do you think that's going to be like?
That's special. You spend that much time in a place. I mean, Chicago gave me my first opportunity to be a head football coach in the National Football League. A lot of great memories, great friends. I mean, we still have a place, there in Chicago. So it'll always be a part of our home. So that'll be a special game for us. And I also like, Drew, playing it in September, as opposed to November. I can do without that cold a little bit, but and then just talking about road games, before we go on the road there, in the first game, going to Denver, I know our traveling Texans are pretty excited, led by Pamela Irby. I know they're going to show up in numbers, and we're going to need them, starting with that Denver game going out there. The schedule, where you get a chance to go to so many traditional stadiums and professional teams that we play. In order for us to complete this overhaul of our program, we need to be able to travel well on the road.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt this season that you're going to so many cities that are just fun destinations for not just traveling Texans, but for anybody that's going. I mean, all over the place.
No, true, and that's the beauty about a 17-game season, and of course we have 9 on the road this year. I think I played in just about every stadium around except for the new ones. Las Vegas, of course, being one. So, but you can make a case there's some type of special backstory for everybody we play this coming season.
No doubt. How important is it to play really, really well on primetime here in the home stadium? It's the one primetime game the Texans have.
Yeah, and I understand that. Eventually, we want a lot of primetime games. In order for that to happen, we need to show up. So we need to start off fast, as I said earlier. We need to travel on the road. But when we know we're going to have a national audience then. And by then, we hope we're playing our best football also. And so that game will be important. And, if you're going to play a Thursday game, of course, you want to play at home first. And then where you don't have to travel at least. So we'll be ready for that too.
Coach, we can't wait to see you. And best of luck in between now and the start of the season. Take care.
Thank you, Drew.
After the break, the man in the middle is wearing a wire. Linebacker Christian Kirksey's mic'd up for Texans 360.
Another day, another opportunity. Work day, baby. Let's get it.
We got something in store for y'all. Y'all just wait.
Feeling great, man. About to get to work.
I ain't doing my hair this morning. Not too much camera action.
Welcome back to Texans 360. Me, Drew Dougherty, and Cecil Shorts III. You played wide receiver in the NFL. There had to have been a time or two when you were mic'd up for sound, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
You know, it was funny. So my best day of practice, that particular training camp, I was mic'd up, and then the mic didn't work.
Oh!
So I caught like 3 touchdowns. I was everywhere in the field talking trash with the defense. It was fun. So I had to do it again the next day, and it was just a boring practice. Oh, but it was fun.
That's heartbreaking stuff, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I wish we could have gotten you mic'd up better. Oh, boy. Well, speaking of mic'd up, Christian Kirksey, linebacker for the Houston Texans, was wearing a wire, and we had some fun with it.
Mario, what's happening? You deep at fullback, ain't you? You deep at fullback, ain't you? Hey, man, hey, great blocking, bro. Great blocking,
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. Sometimes it's just
we should go talk to him. I'll be the fullback, you be the runner.
You know what I'm saying?
You made me mad, though. I ain't gonna block for you.
That's crazy.
I know, I ain't gonna.
That's crazy.
Kirk, I took my C4 at 10:35 p.m.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you ready? Bro, so I don't know what CJ was on yesterday, bro, but he literally woke up like every 2 hours, bro. And like, he usually good, like, he usually sleep through the night. But bro was just waking up. I'm like, man, what's going on, bro? I haven't had a full night's sleep since January, bro. It's half a day 10. It'll be great today, man. Come on. There you go, Cash. There you go, Cash. Let's have some fun. Be yourself, man. Glory on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Close left. Close left. Huh? Come on now. That was too easy. I like it too, 7. I love it.
Good work. All right, we finished it the right way. We got to start it like that.
Let's go, man. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family.
After the break, wide receivers aplenty for the Houston Texans. We're breaking them down with Cecil Shorts III. Texans 360 rolls on. Texans 360 continues. Drew and Cecil. And Cecil, you know all about catching a football. You did it in the NFL as a wide receiver. And we're going to talk about wide receivers as well as tight ends. But let's start with the guy at the top of the pecking order for the Houston Texans. Is there a more underrated, at least nationally, underrated receiver in the NFL than Brandon Cooks?
It might not be.
I mean, he pumps out 1,000-yard seasons.
It might not be. Everywhere he's been, on every team, he's had a 1,000-yard receiving season. And the only reason he didn't, for different reasons, would be for injuries or whatever the case may be. He is solid as they come.
Yeah.
I would argue that he's clear-cut number 1 on any team. Some would say 2, but he is a guy that's going to be productive. He's going to make plays when the ball's in his hand. He's a smaller stature guy, so some people don't think, oh, he can go up and get it. Last year, it was times he went up and 50-50 jump ball, come down with it because he's so strong. And then you can give him the short game. You throw a hitch to him. I guess he might take it 60, 70 yards like he did in Jacksonville not too long ago. So he is a guy that, man, is extremely solid, definitely underrated nationwide, fantasy-wise too. Did some good things. Let's throw it out there. But he's a guy that's solid, man, and I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, and so with all that in mind, let's talk about John Mechie because he's not practiced. He's still coming off the injury. The Texans have been very upfront about not putting any sort of timetable on him.
Very smart.
They want to come back when he's healthy. But Mechie says he's going to be ready really, really soon. Whenever he's ready. What did you see of him at Alabama that really got you excited?
Yak. Yards after catch. He's like a running back after he catches the ball. So aggressive, looking to make a play down the field after he catches it. He had 900 yards 2 years ago, 1,000 yards last year. Probably would have went a little bit higher in the draft if it wasn't for the injury so late in the year. So for us to get him at second round, pick 44-ish, it was, to me, a steal because he's a guy that can play inside, be very aggressive, smart kid playing with Bill O'Brien in Alabama. You got to be a smart guy in the slot.
Yeah.
So for him to be able to handle that, be very productive, I'm excited to see what he can do here.
Yes, indeed. Okay, stick with us because when Texans 360 returns, we're breaking ground for a very special home.
Houston is a football town. In order for us to accomplish our goals, we can't do it without our fans.
Since I became head football coach here, I've talked about that 4-phase. And we're going to expect them to come in their colors and support their football team.
And he's in trouble. He's sacked. Comer Boucher Hill. Mills, quick pass. Nico at the 5. Nico in the end zone. The dagger.
We're back. Texans 360 continues. Drew Dougherty, Cecil Shorts III, and you're out in the community quite a bit as a representative of the Houston Texans. There aren't too many cooler projects than Operation Finally Home, though, are there?
Yes. To be able to surprise a veteran or see the veteran get a mortgage-free home and all the stuff they've done for us and they're kind of fighting for our country, it's special.
It's really special. We got a video to prove it because one of those homes, they just broke ground on.
Today, we're celebrating our 212th groundbreaking ceremony for a new mortgage-free home for a wounded, ill, or injured veteran. The family that we're doing this for today is the Del Pozo family.
Actually, I thought I was just doing an interview. I didn't really expect any of this. To have this is just monumental. I'm just so speechless and I can't believe that this is actually happening to somebody like me. I mean, with the way everything's going, the way the world is going, and you don't know what tomorrow is, this is actually, just as much as you see concrete, this is actually something that's going to be firm into the ground, and this is going to be forever. So we'll greatly appreciate just to have something that we can call our own.
You know, he paid his dues, and we're doing our duty to support him and his family by providing them a beautiful mortgage-free home.
We're all out of time for this week's Texans 360. It's always good to have you here, Cecil Shorts.
Man, I appreciate it, Drew. Hopefully soon again.
I'd like that. We will definitely do
All
that.
right.
And training camp will be here on the snap of a finger. Hey, for everybody that put this show together, we thank you. And we will be back again at the same time next week. This has been Texans 360. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to know when we post new content.